Yo, konnichiwa minna. Today we're gonna be reviewing episode 5. Not really a review, it's more just like a say stuff about episode 5 of Chainsmoker Cat. Or in other words, Yari Neko. Yeah, this episode was pretty chill. We start off with, how did it start again? Oh yeah, it starts off with Imoko trying to take, or not trying, she takes the cigarettes, like all of Yanni's cigarettes away, and like closes the door and says, "Yeah, that's right, we ain't smoking no more." And Yanni Neko's crying and, "No, please, not my tobacco." But it turns out she had like a string that she like passed down her esophagus in order to hide like a pack of cigarettes in there somewhere. So that her sister, like when she came over to, she assumed take them, she'd have like an extra. And so when Imoko comes back inside because she feels bad and she wants to give her like one pack back, she's like sliding it out of there. Saliva going all over the place. And then she's pretty appalled. she's appalled, but like, and not at first, well, she is, but like, at first, Yanni Neko's like, "Man, I need a light," and she just hold out the cigarette, and then lighter appears in the darkness. She's like, "Ah, cool." Right, and then the light from the lighter like illuminates Imoko's face. She's just like, damn, mad as shit. Yeah. That kind of shows us like Imoko's perspective and how she always wants to take care of her sister and sort of, I guess, be like that stability, the center and all the chaos that surrounds Yanni Neko. Which then leads on to the next scene where Imoko's being proposed to by like one of her classmates. And he says he wants to like date her and then probably eventually marry her. And she's like, "Nah, I'm good, bro." And despite him being a good dude and everything, her reasoning when asked by one of her friends why she didn't want to date him was because he seemed too put together. Like, he was too normal, I guess. Which then immediately makes you think of like Yanni Neko and their relationship and how she's trying to be like this anchor or, I guess, like sense of calm in the storm for Yanni Neko to try and help her. And maybe she's gotten to a point where she needs to have that in a relationship. Like she needs to feel like she's helping someone. I'm not entirely sure, but that was her reasoning. And the scene after that, we get, I think it was Yanni Neko and then the orange chick who does like the illegal drugs. They were at the store. They were at a convenience store. They were like shopping and stuff, and then she just keeps like reacting to the number 12 like she's being summoned or something. And she says it's because she used to be referred to by the number 12, which makes you think that she was like a slave or a soldier of some kind. I don't know the lore behind that, but it's really interesting. Hopefully we find out next episode. And then immediately after that, she wants to go stag beetle hunting. So she's running around the apartment building, like asking all the apartment dwellers, like, "Hey, you wanna hunt some stag beetles with me?" And they're all like, "No, I'm not really interested in stag beetles. Sorry." And so then she resigns herself to go alone to hunt the stag beetles. And she runs into the manager in the apartment. He's like, "Oh, sorry, I got shit to do too. But I hope you do. I hope you do all right. Don't do any hard drugs out there in the forest. A little worried. And then as she's going, finally, truly, Yanni Neko like appears and is like, oh yeah, I was gonna go down to my part-time job, so I'm not like a bum anymore and can't afford rent, but they don't let me smoke, so I tailed it out of there. Yeah. And then she just like sits on the like bike rack, I guess, or maybe there was another seat. And then they go to the forest, I guess, to hunt stag beetles. But then like when it transitions to like the next scene, they're not hunting stag beetles. They're like in a village, and there's this leader, Alpha, the girl the like village girl we've been seeing in the opening scene. And then she's the leader of like all these tribal cat girls who make tobacco for a living. That's like all they do. And then I guess they're not there to hunt stags, but to get some tobacco. And also the streamer girl was there too. And so then they're like they try to make some tobacco in order to receive tobacco. That was like the deal, I guess. But they're really bad at making tobacco, so they can't do that. And then she's like, all right, well, I got a challenge for you. After Yanni Neko angers her by saying her like tattoos look like a dick and a pussy, and then she like shoots a ray gun at them, which came out of nowhere. I thought we were about to be like in a shonen anime for a second, like they were gonna start fighting and pull out all kinds of crazy abilities, but it toned down again after that. I guess they like had Yanni Neko jump off of a cliff with like a bungee cord attached to her, a cliff that was like way too far down, and the drop was just like super consistent, and it just like went down. Like I feel like IRL you would have been like cut in half, but she was fine. And she even asked the tribal girls who were like looking up at her as she was coming down in awe and in shock that she actually jumped like for a light. And then so then the like streaming girl with the dark purple hair and the like pink highlights, she's like, all right, well that looked easy enough. So she's playing it up for the camera, like, okay guys, I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna do it. And then the alpha, the tribal like cat girl leader just kicks her down. She falls and panics. And like pisses herself, and pee flies all over everywhere and creates a rainbow, and they end up calling it like Rainbow Neko or something like that. And yeah, it's pretty much the end, except right after that, like the only other thing that happens of note is more parallels between Yanni and her younger sister Imoko. So Imoko's in class eating, or not in class, I think they're in the cafeteria, or no, they're in class eating lunch. And then a cicada flies through the window and everybody's panicking. Oh, cicada! Ah! And she just like catches it with her chopsticks, like out of the air. And then goes and up to the window it came through, it lets it out, and then I think closes it, maybe not, I don't know. And then she like her ear twitches and she hears people gossiping like, oh my god, that was so fast, how'd she do that? Is she gonna eat it? And she got embarrassed and like went to go wash the chopsticks because, you know, cat girl, beast folk, prejudice, and all that stuff, the racial undertones and all that. And so she's washing the chopsticks, like ashamed, I guess, of being a cat girl, like, oh my god. And then then her friends come and they're like, here's a replacement chopstick. And her friends are human, of course, and so then it's like humans and cat girls can actually be along, you know? They can. That's cool. And then it goes pans to Yanni, and a cicada flies through her window while they're not eating, they're smoking and shit. And then the cicada like flies through and she just grabs it and eats it. And so then you get to see the two different responses to like the exact same thing from both sisters. And then you can see like their differences, like how Yanni Neko's more, I guess, instinctual, and she is like she leans more into her desires. That's sort of like with the smoking thing. Like she does it because it feels good and she likes it, and so that's why she'll keep doing it and she's not stopping. Whereas Imoko, like, is more reserved and controlled than her sister. Even though that is in a way against like their nature, but not exactly. It's more so just the nature that they were told they had to have. Like the cat girls, the beast folk, they're seen as like wild and uncontrolled in society. And so Yanni Neko in a way embraces that, whereas Imoko like rejects it and tries to be more human in a sense. But at the end of the day, it's just like the society, with its racial prejudice and how it views cat girls has affected both sisters in different ways, but neither of them are really good. So that's like what this episode's like mostly. I mean, like the theme of this episode would be that, but it was mostly focused on smoking, of course. That's like, yeah. But it was a good episode. It was very nice. I mean, it's chill. Like this anime, bro, every episode is just like so chill. I just sit, watch it. The 24 minutes feel like 5. It's just, every episode so far has been good. I think we're getting 12 episodes. We're almost halfway through the season. So yeah, I just decided to start reviewing it a little late. I mean, I didn't review the first 4 episodes. I'm not going to. They were all good. Episode 1 was like particularly wild. It was like a good hook. It was a really good hook. Yeah, that's my review for Yanni Neko episode 5. Not really a review. I was just saying shit, but yeah. That's all, guys. See you. Take care. Bye-bye.